And of course, Ruth, the writers of Dad's Army, went on to write Hi-de-Hi. Was Hi-de-Hi as much fun to do as it was to watch?
Oh, yes.
And come on, tell us, was the smouldering Gladys Pugh the real you?
Oh, Martin. Oh, would I ever tell you that, lovely boy?
Well, I'll see you later, perhaps. Well, let's remind ourselves of some of the hijinks that actually made it through to the screen. Now, of course, Hi-de-Hi and Dad's Army were both BBC classics, but here on Today's the Day, we're nothing if not even-handed, and some of the most popular British sitcoms have been shown on ITV. So, do these bring back any memories?
I wish you'd get us closer.
Oh, don't have absolute nonsense, darling. I'm perfectly fit. Why should I degrade a fellow human being by expecting him to carry my bags for me?
I understand it's the money, not the principle.
Exactly.
Countdown, ladies, sing this song. Do-da, do-da. Countdown, race trip 5 miles long. Do-da, do-da, day.
Let's meet Robin Tripp and Laura West, alias Richard O'Sullivan and Honor Blackman. Richard, how do you feel looking back on yourself as the archetypal 70s man?
Old. Extremely old, but what is amazing is some of the gear we wore in those days, you know, the fashion. I mean, we did look totally ridiculous then, don't you think?
Let's take you back 20 years to this.
Right.
The moment an Englishman sets foot on foreign soil, he panics.
Oh, my God.
Hello, James. A wash in alcohol as usual, I see. Darling.
Mum.
And, Robert.
No, Robin. Robin, as in red. You know, red, red. When the red, red robin comes, ba, ba, ba. Robin, Robin.
Yes.
Now, Honor, you worked with Richard in Robin's Nest, but
Yes.
you're also extremely well known now as the man-eating divorcee in The Upper Hand. Of course, you rose to television fame as Cathy Gale in the original Avengers, and when you were throwing yourself around...
Or throwing other people around.
Well, indeed,
Yes.
indeed. Was that risky? Was it dangerous?
Well, it wasn't a lot of fun because you had to do it on the cement floor in the studio, and they gave me bigger and better men every week, you know, and they got weightier and weight. Please don't look at me like that, Richard. And of course it was all live, running from set to set, so that you finished a fight, changed your clothes, and then you had to be on a chaise longue or something in a minute looking very cool. And you were, to put it politely, sweating like a bull, so it wasn't very ladylike.
Well, now that we know the inner secrets of the early Avengers, let's take a look at an extract from one of those programs, and in particular, keep your eyes peeled for a young man in a kilt.
Now let's try a surprise attack from the rear.
And that gentleman was, of course, Honor.
It looked a bit like John Thor, wasn't it?
Yes, it was John Thor.
Nice legs.
Nice legs. Well, I'm a leg woman.
Yeah,
yes,
shame about
nice
the face, but nice legs, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have our celebrity teams in place for Today's the Day. And on this special day, all of them playing for the bumper Today's the Day Christmas hamper, which will be donated to the charity of the winner's choice. Right, round one is a very festive Stop the Clip. So fingers on buzzers, please. Buzz when you think you can answer the question about the clip. The sooner you buzz, of course, the more points you get. And we start with a seasonal clip from today in 1991. A very special visitor, but where is he?
Santa Claus has returned to one country where he'd been banned for nearly half a century. With the end of hardline communism there, children can again experience...
Richard and Honor?
Was it Albania?
It was. It was the first visit by Father Christmas to Albania today in 1991, following the collapse of the communist regime earlier that year. And now a piece of pop from Christmas in 1992. Who is the pop legend singing this seasonal song? Start the clip.
God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay.
Bill and Ruth?
I think it might be Johnny Mathis.
No, restart the clip. Richard and Honor?
Bruce Springsteen?
No, restart the clip.
Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy.
Now, I'm going to have to tell you, in very uncharacteristic pose, it was Neil Diamond singing God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen from his Christmas special in 1992. And at the end of round one, Bill and Ruth, what are we going to do with you? Sitting there on a humble 0 points. Richard and Honor streaking into the lead with 11. We press on to our TV round, a selection of classic programmes which were on the air on Christmas Day in years gone by. 3 clips for Bill and Ruth first, our usual tough questions to follow.
Here lies the world's greatest miser. How low can you stoop? He even had rubber pockets so he could nick soup. So that's how you wish the world to remember you?
Oh, ghosty poo, help Scroogey Pops. Abracadabra, alakazam, bibbidi-bobbidi bat. See your brother and mother again, just like that.
And socks. I bought you a pair of socks.
Oh, yeah, they bought me a pair of socks, didn't they? Look, look, my dear, can you read? Look, substained. Look at that. A knocked out line down a line, isn't it?
Don't you be jealous.
I am not jealous.
Bill and Ruth, can you identify those programmes?
Well, the first one was obviously Peter Cook and I think Kenny Everett.
Yes, from Kenny Everett's Christmas Carol from 1985. The second one...
Well, the second one was Aladdin.
And it was actually on Crackerjack, 1974. And the last one, of course...
Till Death Us Do Part.
Of course, yes, from 1966. Right, your point-scoring questions coming up. In the novel A Christmas Carol, how many ghosts appear to Scrooge?
3.
No, it was 4. It was the ghosts of Christmas past, Christmas present, Christmas yet to come, and Jacob Marley.
Marley.
Peter Cook was helping Kenny Everett with his version of A Christmas Carol. In which spoof film of the 70s did Peter Cook play Sherlock Holmes?
I really don't know.
No.
It was The Hound of the Baskerville with Dudley Moore as Dr. Watson, and you saw Ed Stewart in Aladdin Crackerjack style. Name 2 of the 3 Crackerjack presenters who preceded him.
Eamon Andrews.
Yes.
Leslie Crowther.
Yeah.
Yes. And, of course, Michael Aspel. Yes. Traditionally, what's the name of Aladdin's mother in the pantomime?
Widow Twankey.
Widow Twankey is right. The part of Alf Garnett's wife in Till Death Us Do Part was originally played by the actress who later found fame as Ethel Skinner in EastEnders. Who is she?
It was the big lady.
Really, was that?
Yes.
Well, was it? Say it then, dear.
I don't know, I think...
We prefer...
Is it Lally Bowers?
No, it was Gretchen Franklin.
Oh.
We prefer the miming there. We thought the miming was rather good, Ruth. Which Shakespearean role did Warren Mitchell recently play on the London stage?
King Lear.
King Lear is right. And we've 3 festive clips coming up now to test the memories of Richard and Honor.
Who is it?
Mrs. Snooker, native well.
Oh, wait a minute. Come over here and stand by me. We'll give her a surprise. Enter.
We're going to be eaten by cannibals.
Well, why are you laughing then?
I'm not, I'm terrified. But I've got a bloat in my bodice and it's nibbling me navel.
Oh, give me that. Oh. Hey, Timmy, don't run away with that. That could be supper for all of us tonight.
It's a very nice do. I must say they do it very well every year, you know, because all the men get big cigars.
Yeah.
And the women get...
Pickled?
No.
Pie-eyed?
No. Picture hats.
Oh, picture hats, do they? Oh, yeah, that's very nice.
Mind you, they also get
Well, they would do this.
pistachio nut.
Richard and Honor, can you identify those programmes?
Yes, I think the first one was Are You Being Served?
Right, from 1976. The second...
What was the second
Whittington, wasn't it?
Was it the pantomime
Dick
one?
Whittington from 1972, and the third?
Was the Two Ronnies?
Yeah.
The Two Ronnies Christmas Show from 1987. Your point-scoring questions coming up. Are You Being Served was set in which department store?
Was it Grace?
Grace Brothers.
Yes, Grace Brothers.
Yeah.
Who played the porter, Mr. Harmon, in that series?
Don't know.
We don't know.
It was Arthur English. Dick Whittington was played by Peter Noone, singer of which 60s pop group?
Hermits? No.
Yeah.
Hermits?
Yes, I'll give you that. Herman's Hermits.
Herman's
In the traditional pantomime, who does Dick Whittington marry?
Alice.
Alice is right. Which actress starred with the two Ronnies in their mini-serial The Worm That Turned?
Di Dawes.
Diana Dawes is right.
Yes.
In Ronnie Barker's sitcom Porridge, what was the full name of his character?
Stanley Fletcher. Something Stanley Fletcher.
Yeah, I am going to... It was Norman Stanley Fletcher.
Ah,
So, at the end of round 2, we have Bill and Ruth well off 0 with 15, but Richard and Honor maintaining their lead with 36. And we zip through to round 3, which is Famous Faces. On the video wall, we have 4 years, and hiding behind each year, a well-known person in a classic clip from the Today's the Day Christmas archive. Bill and Ruth, your choice of year first, please.
1963.
1963.
What's in that bag?
In the bag?
Laughs. Laughs? Let's have a look. Does this get a laugh? Does it get a laugh?
Bud Flanagan clowning around on Christmas Day in 1963. He was one half of a famous double act in The Crazy Gang. Who was his partner?
Chesney Allen.
Is right. And Richard and Honor, your choice of year.
1977, please.
1977. Angela Rippon on Morecambe and Wise today in 1977. That clip might remind you of which other long-running BBC programme which Angela presented, joining a long line of hosts who included Michael Aspel and Noel Edmonds.
Come Dancing.
Come Dancing is right. Bill and Ruth, your choice.
1955.
1955. Father Christmas paying a visit to Great Ormond Street Hospital for Sick Children in London today in 1955. Since 1929, the hospital's income has been boosted by its ownership of the copyright of which story?
Peter Pan.
Yes, J.M. Barrie's Peter Pan.
Yep.
And Richard and Honor, you were left with 1987. Christmas 1987, and the Prince and Princess of Wales being upstaged by Prince William at St George's Chapel. Where exactly is the chapel?
Windsor Castle.
It is in Windsor Castle. So at the end of round 3, we find Bill and Ruth on 25 points, but Richard and Honor hanging on to their lead with 46. Right, fingers back on buzzers, please. It is time for a festive quick-fire round. Name the British-born actor and director who starred in the films Modern Times and City Lights and died today in 1977. Richard and Honor?
Charlie Chaplin.
Is right. Who played the title role in Chaplin's classic film The Kid? Bill and Ruth?
Coogan.
Yes, Jackie Coogan. Born today in 1918, Anwar Sadat was president of which country? Bill and Ruth?
Egypt.
Correct. Who preceded Anwar Sadat as president of Egypt? Richard and Honor?
Nasser.
Gamal Abdel Nasser is right. Born today in 1954, which Scottish singer and songwriter's first solo album is called Diva? Bill and Ruth?
Annie Lennox.
It is Annie Lennox. Today in 1085, which English king ordered the survey that formed the basis of the Doomsday Book? Bill and Ruth?
William the First.
Yes, or William the Conqueror. In which battle did William conquer Harold? No, Richard and Honor.
Hastings.
It was the Battle of Hastings. Today in 1949, Archibald Leach married his third wife, actress Betsy Drake, better known as Cary Grant. In which film did he star as the nephew of two elderly poisoners? Bill and Ruth?
Arsenic and Old Lace.
Is right. Who starred opposite Cary Grant? I'll finish the question. Who starred opposite Cary Grant in the 1955 film To Catch a Thief? Bill and Ruth?
Grace Kelly.
Grace Kelly is right. And that's the end of our quick fire round. And there is some serious catching up going on here because Bill and Ruth are on 55 points. Richard and Honor are just clinging to their lead with 61. Bill and Ruth, That's a considerable improvement on your first couple of rounds.
Well, the brain starts reacting a wee bit.
We're slow on the uptake,
we're
but
slow.
we get there.
I think we peaked too soon, you know.
That's what I fear. That's what I fear. It might be a total decline now.
Right, well, let us press on this, the Today's the Day Christmas Celebrity Special. We're moving on to the video wall. 8 clips here, some more difficult to answer questions about than others, so you do have a choice. And as you can see, the clips are worth 5, 10 or 15 points. Bill and Ruth, off you go.
10 straight up the middle.
Top middle for 10 points.
At Brookman's Park, cyclists from a number of clubs met on Christmas Day, as every year, to take part in a fancy dress rally. A tradition also is the rendezvous for coffee and cakes at the same cafe each year.
Fancy dress on 2 wheels today in 1951. That same year, the Tour of Britain cycle race was held for the very first time. For 10 points, by what name was the event more commonly known?
The milk race, she says.
Yes, it was the milk race. Richard and Honor, your choice.
We'll go for bottom left, please.
Bottom left for 15 points.
Good King Wenceslas last looked out on the feast of Stephen, when the snow lay round about, deep and crisp and even.
Oh. Did we really dance like that? Yes, we did.
We did.
Unfortunately. Festive pop with Mike and his Mersey Men from today in 1963 with a fab version of Good King Wenceslas for 15 points. In which European capital is a square named after him?
Prague.
Prague is right, capital of the Czech Republic. Bill and Ruth, your choice.
10 on the left.
Middle left for 10 points.
Yep.
What we're going to do now is actually reveal everybody all at once, so you can all see whether you were right or all see whether you were wrong.
Now, a host of Santas with Russell Harty in his 1984 Christmas show. For 10 points, can you identify all 5 of those Father Christmases?
Tony Blackburn.
Tony Blackburn. Sue Lawley.
Derek Nimmo.
Then we'd like...
No. Only 3, I think.
No, I need all 5 for a correct answer. I'm going to hand it across to Richard Nonna.
No.
Richard Nonna?
David Steele and Sterling Moss.
Yes, you're right. Yes, and it is your choice on the wall.
Bottom right, please.
Bottom right for 15 points.
For many months now, the busy people behind the scenes have been getting ready for the great day. Mr. Tom Arnold is one of the best-known providers of pantomime, and at his workshops, our cameraman watched the last touches being given to scenery and properties that by now have been delivered to theatres all over the country.
Preparing for Panto today in 1948. For 15 points, in Peter Pan, what is the surname of Wendy, John and Michael, the 3 children Peter Pan visits?
Darling.
Thank you, but what's their surname?
Is it?
No, you're right.
Darling, darling.
You're right. And Bill and Ruth, it is your choice.
Let's go for 10.
On the right,
on
sorry.
the right,
sorry.
yeah.
Middle right for 10 points. That was Lonely This Christmas at the top of the charts back in 1974. For 10 points, it was sung by what group?
I've got no idea.
You're the musician.
I'm going to throw it across to Richard Nonna.
They were British, and their names were...
Him and him.
I'm going to have to tell you the group's name was Mud. And Richard and Honor, it is now your choice.
We'll go for top right.
Top right for 5 points.
Marcus, let us play a game and push him down the well.
Yeah.
He's falling in the water.
An historic moment there, the recording of the last ever Goon Show, transmitted at Christmas 1972. For 5 points, can you name the 4 original Goons?
Peter Sellers, Harry Seacombe, Spike Milligan, and
Michael Benteen.
Michael Benteen.
Is right. Bill and Ruth.
Very good.
Your choice.
Bottom...
Bottom middle for 10 points.
Honestly, I thought I'd been really sharp, right? I put walnuts, and then I thought, if she's Brazil, I'll have Brazil nut. And if she has pecan, I'll have pecan. And if she says hazel, I'll have hazelnut. But did I think a monkey?
An exasperated panellist on the 1984 blankety-blank Christmas special. 10 points. Who was she?
Lorraine Chase.
Yes, Lorraine Chase, the girl from Luton Airport. And Richard Nonner, you were left with top left for 5 points. Nothing like a dame from that celebrated Morecambe and Wise Christmas special today in 1977. I'm going to ask you for 5 points whether you can name the musical which features that song.
South Pacific.
South Pacific is right. So at the end of that round, we find Bill and Ruth on 75 points, but Richard and Honor stretching their lead again with 111. And so we come to our final round. Time to beat the clock. 60 seconds of questions about Christmas past, but of course only one team member can play. Richard, you're in the hot seat?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So let's go.
Be gentle.
60 seconds starting now. Born today in 1936, which member of the royal family is married to Sir Angus Ogilvy?
Princess Alexander.
Correct. At Christmas 1953, which entertainer stopped cleaning windows to be a panellist on TV's What's My Line?
Oh, I can't think.
George Formby.
Thank you.
On the wireless today in 1932, which monarch made the first royal Christmas broadcast?
King George the First. No, fourth.
No, fifth. At Christmas 1935, who took up his duties as British Foreign Secretary 20 years before he became Prime Minister?
Churchill.
No, Sir Anthony Eden. Christmas 1976, who was starring as Buttons in Cinderella at the London Palladium?
It wasn't Richard O'Callaghan, it was Richard O'Sullivan.
It was you, yes. Christmas 1929, Helen Wills married Frederick Moody. With which sport is she most associated?
Tennis.
Correct. On TV today in 1958, which magician introduced Christmas night? I'll finish the question. Which magician introduced Christmas night with the stars?
Mr. Nixon.
David Nixon is right. Now, Bill, your target to beat is 151.
Oh, man.
Oh, dear.
Let's go. 60 seconds starting now. Born today in 1906, which TV mogul called his autobiography Still Dancing?
Lou Grade.
Is right. W.C. Fields died today in 1946. Who starred opposite him in the film My Little Chickadee?
I don't know.
Mae West. At Christmas 1987 in Guildford, who was playing the bad robber in Babes in the Wood?
I don't know.
It was you, Bill Pertwee. At Christmas 1925, which Scottish entertainer was singing I Love a Lassie on his first wireless broadcast?
Sir Harry Lauder.
Is right. At Christmas 1935, King Leopold arrived in Britain. Of which country was he monarch?
Belgium.
Correct. At Christmas 1990, Bob Hope was entertaining troops in Saudi Arabia. What is his signature tune?
Thanks for the memory.
Correct. At Christmas 1986, Dudley Moore was starring in cinemas as an elf in which film?
Pass.
Santa Claus the movie. And that's it. Well, Bill, I thought you were on a bit of a roll there for a moment. But, you and Ruth have ended up with an extremely impressive 115, but Richard and Honor take the honours with an incredibly impressive 151. Well, a great show, and Richard and Honor, the Today's the Day Christmas bumper hamper is on its way to the charity of your choice. But of course, no one leaves Today's the Day empty-handed. For each of you, I have our unique prize, newspapers that were printed and published on the very days that you were born. There you are, Bill.